Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with StampCreatively. I'm going to show you what I do at a camp. I'm not showing you all of the projects, but I'm showing you most of them. This is, we used this friendly foliage, and I've already done a video on this, so you don't need to see me do this, stamp this one again. You can go back and look at it, but I love the friendly foliage. I did 3 different cards with it in the video earlier. There's this one, and that's that pretty velvet back there. And then this one is done with some copper embossing powder. So you can go back and look at the video if you want to see how those were created. But I used it at camp because this one was the one that was requested. So I did this one. Then I didn't do any Christmas ones at my December camp, but I did do a snowman because if you live where I do, it's still snowing. So let me show you how I put this one together. Do you want to build a snowman? I channeled my inner Tanya. My friend sings a lot when we stamp. So there's my Tanya shout out. Okay, so I used Snowflake Kisses. And these are all the dies. They have so many dies. It's got some great words. And I wanted a snowman, so I pulled him from the Jars of Joy. I originally, in my head, when I started this card, I don't know if you're like me, but you're like, oh, that'll be pretty with vellum. I didn't love the vellum on it. I tried to kind of color the vellum a little bit, and I still didn't love it. So I scrapped the vellum idea and went with basic white cardstock. So I ran this through the die cut machine already. So I used the basic white. And then this is Balmy Blue. I was going to say Balmy Blue, and then I thought, I should check that. So I took my Balmy Blue and just went over it with our blend brushes, which I love doing this. My customers like it too. So I went over all my snowflakes with the Balmy Blue. And this die cut really well. You know, sometimes all the pieces take forever to poke out. This one didn't. It came out real quick. So I was pleased with that. So I went over it with the Balmy Blue, and my customers were like, that doesn't look like I put enough on it. I said, well, put it on the Night of Navy, and then it really pops. Okay. Then I took, if you know me, I don't love the green glue, but I felt like green glue worked better with this. I was going to use the adhesive sheets, but I didn't love that because what happens is when they go to lay it down, you don't get any squiggle room. Green glue, the only positive thing about green glue is it allows you to lay it down and give you some squiggle. You know, you can just kind of shift it a little. It's a scientific term, I'm sure. So I'm going to lay this down, get it where I want it. And then it's just going to lay down right there. Now I just noticed I have a little piece right there I didn't poke out. That's not the worst thing that's going to happen today, right? So here's my Let It Snow. Here's my snowman. It's a great snowman. Then also a part of the snowflake set are these cute little bows. So I had to use the little bows on my Let It Snow. I'm closing these up so I'm not a hazard. But one of the things that's so cute is this snowman, this stamp has the hat band and the scarf all in one. It makes my snowman really easy. So I added the hat and the snow band, the hat band and the scarf. Then I used my Stampin' Right marker to add his little orange nose. And then I did go around him with a little bit of snow. If you need your snowman to sparkle, you can use your Wink of Stella, but make sure you go on the inside and don't get too close to that Night of Navy or it will bleed. I'm going to add him with some dimensionals. I'm going to put this guy on with a dimensional. I took this red. This is the, it's an online exclusive. It's a real red and it's got a sparkle to it. Can you see the sparkle? And I just tied a really tight knot. And then with a glue dot, I stick it under this little tag. Then it looked like his scarf sticking out. And then I just had a happy moment with rhinestones. I mean, you can't get a cheaper embellishment. They're perfect with the snowman, the middle of my snowflakes. And I let them use as many rhinestones as they wanted. There was no limit to rhinestones this time. So there you go. That's one of the camp cards. Again, my camps are never complicated or hard. They just may have some steps to each card because, I mean, they should. So card number 2, you saw number 1, that's a different video. Here's one. Simple fold, and I added the DSP to the center. So what I did was I cut this piece off, and that's the back of this. I'll show you. I find with some of these bigger stamps, I have to make sure I use my foam, and my foam gets loved. I need to do a better job of putting a piece of paper over it, so when they stamp, they don't... the color doesn't transfer. So I pulled out this DSP. This is what I wanted to use. And I went to find the stamp set. I don't have the stamp set. I've used it at my friend Tanya's. So I pulled out Gallery of Blooms to use with it, and then A Simple Birthday. But I was sure if you would have asked me if I had that stamp set, I would have said yes, because I've used it. But somehow I haven't ordered it. We don't know. You guys know how that is. So I'm using Cameo Coral. This is the Designer Series paper. I ran out of this one, so I switched so we could see a different one. If you need the dimensions of this, just message me. I'll share. But this, I cut this off. And then this piece goes this way. All right, let's stamp and do some assembly required. So it's the Calypso Coral. Geez, when I say Cameo Coral, that dates how long I've been doing this, right? And that Happy Birthday fits right on there. Again, it's a bold one. It does so much better if you use this foam. I didn't get it all exactly the way I wanted it, which I can either stamp it down again, add some more ink to the spot where I need it, and I can line, because it's photopolymer, I do a pretty good job of lining it up. But it also has a schmutz right there. So I'm going to turn it over. I need to look, for me with pets, I need to make sure and look that there's no hair stuck in there, because sometimes there's a hair. All right, I'm going to rub that middle a little bit better. I mean, we do have two sides to our cardstock, friends. Don't forget that. we go. That one's much better. And then I need a piece of vanilla. And I don't have one cut right here because that would be too simple. So I'm going to have to trim this piece. Because there's a piece that goes on the inside of the card. And it's 4 by 5 1/4. Yep. So we're going to put this piece in there. Move my birthday and my Calypso coral out of the way. Then I have my Darling Duckling to stamp over here. And on my happy birthday. Okay. I've never stamped this many cards at one time for you, so this was a real challenge for me to make sure I had everything ready. And no matter how many times I look, there's still one thing. Hopefully that was the only thing. We'll see. So I'm going to seal this piece on the inside. My campers like it when I show them. Ooh, that's pretty. Just different fun folds that don't require a ton of extra paper or a ton of extra measuring. So that's always a goal of mine. So now we're going to put this piece on with the dimensional. Stick this on the front. I'm going to center it. This one I pushed over to the edge. This one I'm going to center just to make it a little different. I used the muted palette dots because I thought all these colors did really well. I don't think they're the exact colors that I used, but it worked. I haven't liked the green, pulls out the green in this. Friends, I love me some embellishments. And then the one last thing that they did for this card was well, that's not going to go in there right now. We whacked it by taking the blend and hitting it on a bone folder. And that like puts the splatters in the background. See how it just kind of adds a little interest to it? If you've been around Stampin' Up! For a while, Shelley Gardner was big on flicking our markers. She did that a lot. Okay, so that was project number 3. Here's number 4. The point of this project is to remind them to stamp on DSP. Simple floral, simple thank you. This is the stamp set that we used. And I did lots of different green things. This is the embellishments that go with the turtle bundle. This is the two-toned ribbon that's super satiny. It's like soft sea foam and shaded spruce. So I had them stamp in shaded spruce on the DSP so I used Lemon Lolly as my card base. Scooch that up just a little bit. Then I'm going to wrap my ribbon all the way around this. And again, I tie it on the bolt. Just works better for me. Then I don't waste my ribbon. And I'm tying it in the middle knowing I'm going to be able to scooch it. So that's all tied off. I'm just gonna roll it all the way over to the edge because I wanted that all the way over to the edge. I'm gonna stick it on with some dimensionals. And that's just pretty on its own. I mean, I just did a snow card, so we should do a little spring, right? Okay. So now I'm going to thank you. And again, stamping on DSP, we just forget. Oh, look, I didn't use my foam mat. I told you. Get these bigger ones, and if you don't use the foam mat, you're not happy. Now, because I'm using pattern DSP, I can't turn it over, but I can line this up. I like the photopolymer, but I don't like that part of it. It's not doing it. All right. We're going to get another piece. Nobody had any problem before. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Watch this. So this will pick it up. Now I know it's going to work. See? Smarter than the stamp. And I'm going to do my thank you down this end. The other one I put below, that one I did a little bit different. Gosh, that was frustrating. Okay, let's put this on with a dimensional on each side of that ribbon. So I have my thank you. Oh, this one I mounted on Lemon Lolly. This one's not mounted. I forgot. I got frustrated with my stamp and then forgot. Okay, so here's my gems. See, these are like hexagons. And they're all different shades of green, so they look really pretty on here. They add a little bit of sparkle without adding... There you go. I loved it. Oh, there it is mounted. I forgot. I got all flustered with that dang thanks. Okay, then the last project they did, I have a customer who loves a good gift card holder, so this is her gift card holder. Not hard. So I used the whack. This is the Designer Series paper. It's the Creative Haven suite that all the paper has different like events. So I've done several projects with it. I'm going to move a couple of these things out of the way. I mean, not that I'm messy or anything. My friends and I joke, we have big areas that we stamp on, but we end up in like a 6x6 square when we're done. And I'm getting very 6x6 squarish right now. So here's one of the projects that I did with it. You deserve all the good things. This one's also a gift card holder. Here's one with the sewing. Here's a fun happy birthday. Here's a deep breath. Here's a little coffee cup. And then there's this one. So I'll show you how I put this one together. So I use the Creative Haven. I use this die and this die. So I'm going to fold this in half. This is pecan pie. And then I have a piece of old olive here. I used all the greens. And on my old olive, I wanted it textured. It was too flat to me. So I took this new lasting linen and I inked it with my basic beige. And I laid it down on here. And it doesn't have to be, I just wanted it textured. So if I miss a spot, I'm okay with that. But it totally changes the look. I'm going to do that one more time and put this, you've got this. And I textured that background too. I've done a lot of texturing with that paper just because I like it. Or with, you know, and the basic beige, it's almost like a Versamark. It just takes it a little shade darker. So I kind of just, I may not wash that off very well and just put that on there. Don't tell my friends, that freaks them out. So they had a choice of a spa. They could do this crafting one, whichever one they wanted to do, whatever kind of gift card they thought or what they thought the person would like. They were supposed to think of a person, and they all did a really good job. So I'm going to move this up just a little bit. I'm going to stick that on there. Then to tie the ribbon on, it's not hard. They had to think about it for a minute, but it's not hard. So we're going to take a couple dimensionals, and I put them at the top, and I'm going to stick this on here. You deserve all the good things. Then I'm going to take this, and I wanted it to go over the top. So I'm going to take it through here. So it's going to go through the hole that's already in this. And then I just wrapped it around and made my bow. See, that wasn't hard. For some reason, it's funny because I had a team meeting yesterday and we were talking about things that can put a customer over the edge. This, I had someone like, she was like, I don't get what you just did. So we did it a couple of times. Eventually they got it, but you know how sometimes you're like, that does not compute. I have things like that. And then it goes right there on the front. Now, this one I used the die and added some granny apple. Or for this one, I can add all of these little die cuts that come with it. Like there's a ton of these. So I can add this to the top. And that's kind of cute. Now, for this piece, this is the two-tone cardstock. So it's 12 by 4. Again, different colors, totally fine with it. So I folded it down, and I didn't give them any measurements because it really doesn't matter. You're going to fold it down, and then you're going to fold it up. And as long as the longest piece is shorter than the card, you're fine. So then we took the 1.5 inch punch and I just popped out a little half circle. I took tear and tape and put it down the inside. To close this off. I like a good tear and tape. It definitely sticks, dang it, that's for sure. Come on, friend. When in doubt, right? I mean, I could have gotten the tool first, but sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. And then they put this on, and the trick with this was not to seal the gift card holder closed. Don't put the seal all the way up here because you want to be able to slide something in there. So the way this fits, I had them lay it in here, all the way up in the seam. Add some seal and close it. And then do the same thing on this side. Voila. A gift card holder. Okay, so I'm going to show you the projects again. You have to tell me what you think. So we did a gift card holder. We did a thank you by stamping on the DSP. We did a simple birthday by just cutting a piece off and adding kind of a fun fold. We did a fun little snowman card because it's not really Christmas. And then I did the foliage card. All right, friends. Thanks for joining me. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Okay. Oh, I forgot the embellishments because I knew I was going to sneeze. I was hurrying. I used these because I like our embellishments. We do Stampin' Up! Does such a good job with embellishments. This has all the colors. Okay, now, thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Have a good one. Bye.